Your experience with Arnab Goswami.
One is that most of the people who have worked with Arnab and who have left do have a little bit of, I don't want to use the term PTSD, but I don't know how else to describe it. Like, there are trauma issues involved in working in such a hectic and often toxic environment as well.
Come to the industry gossip again. Okay, ठीक है,
Ask me specific questions, I shall tell you no lies.
Is Ananya Panday dating anybody?
Of course she is. I think the whole world knows that.
Who?
I'm sorry, this is going to be that part of the conversation where I'm like, hey, I'm in my mid-30s now and gut की bad bang, क्या लग जाए बैंड बज चुकी है. Gut की band बज चुकी है. Wow. Now we've just had that Poonam Pandey stunt happen, right? That would probably be an icebreaker question. Like, what the Okay. Oh, you put Spotify also over there. Spotify को भी खुश रखना है.
नहीं मतलब ऐसा कोई ब्रांड इंटीग्रेशन नहीं है.
नहीं बिल्कुल ब्रांड इंटीग्रेशन नहीं है.
हाँ.
Where brand integration?
ये तो खुद का है. खुद का नहीं करेंगे तो फिर कौन करेगा हमारा?
यार I find this concept very like तूने अपने लिविंग रूम को ट्रांसफॉर्म किया, ये मैं एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रही थी.
What were you expecting?
I thought you. No, because I thought like, see, I told you I'll like come and completely steal your idea, right? My thing is that I have a spare room which I don't know what the hell to do with.
No, I can help you with set up the entire thing.
Yeah, no? But you look like these are all yours, all the equipment you
Everything
bought?
is ours, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Everything is ours. There's one.
But you've
room
like
where
committed to it. My current problem is consistency. So I feel like if I buy all of this and then I don't stick to doing it, then what am I going to do?
Equipment तो काम आ ही जाएगा.
हाँ, correct. Actually, equipment कभी waste नहीं
OLX पे बेच दोगे maximum.
OLX में बेच दूंगी.
इससे ज़्यादा क्या ही होगा, मतलब waste तो नहीं होगा is what I'm thinking. Right?
Like I remember Rajiv had bought all Masan had bought all this I think equipment during lockdown because suddenly सब लोग घर से shoot कर रहे थे ना. So and then he's like after lockdown when he decided to switch careers and become like join DCA, he's like, you want to take all my equipment? And I'm like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to keep it, Rajiv? Anyway one part of my house looks like a storehouse.
No, anyway. But you can set up in the house. I can probably.
I think so.
This could be my side hustle. I could just
consult
people and tell them how to convert your living room into a studio.
That is anyway a good YouTube idea.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Thanks.
You should anyway do it. Like
no commission to you. I take all the YouTube revenue from it.
That's okay. I don't want the commission. वैसे भी वो commission से मेरा घर नहीं चलता.
घर तो ऐसे भी चलो.
किसी का नहीं चल रहा.
Let's not go there.
अच्छी पता नहीं.
चल सकता है.
बड़े लोगों का हाँ.
चल तो सकता है यार.
यार हाँ. जिनके millions आ रहे हैं random blogs पे तुमने effort भी नहीं ना, of course चल रहा है.
तो फिर?
हाँ. नहीं बट ये वाले
you should take your words back.
I should take my words back. चल सकता है, थोड़ी कमिटमेंट और दिखाए तो. तन्मय भट्ट in the comment section. Are we already recording?
What do you think?
I think so.
You're prepared. You know the drill. I don't have to tell you. Okay, why don't you start the show?
Oh, you want me to start the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you start the show? Why don't you take it over?
Okay, sure. I have no problem doing that.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah. I sit like a vela in any case.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The irony is that I actually train other people how to do this right and then I don't do it right for myself. Ever.
Okay.
So you pronounce your surname as Pareek or Pareek?
Pareek.
Haan. So it's like, that's one thing I always double check. Naam pe kabhi gadbad nahi karni.
Janice Sequeira.
Actually, it's Janice, Shireen, Anjali, Sequeira.
Have you taken this from Adarsh Gaurav?
No, and that reel actually happened on my page only, by the way. But no, because I looked at him and I'm like, oh, I'm not the only person. I mean, of course, I knew that people have long names, but uska to kuch like ज़्यादा ही लंबा था यार.
हाँ.
Like भागवतुल्ला के अलावा मेरे को कुछ याद नहीं है.
There are like 4-5
पद्मावत भी था कहीं पे, पद्मावती वो भी था कहीं पे.
Questionable हो जाएगा नहीं तो फिर.
हाँ.
Let's not.
ये अलग ये बंसाली साहब को आपको रेफर करना पड़ेगा.
SLB साहब को बोलना पड़ेगा कि sir. Anyway, whenever he's on the pod, we'll discuss.
Should I introduce you? Okay.
Oh, like this. I thought you were telling me to introduce me to SLB sir.
Alright guys, welcome to a brand new episode of the Chill Hour. I've taken over as host today from Deepak Pareek because he decided that rather than hosting me and having me hang out in his living room. He'd rather go maybe, I don't know, sleep on the couch or, do other interesting activities like have chai with khari biscuit. No, jokes apart, he is right here sitting right next to me in a branded t-shirt under a branded pink neon sign. And you want me to say nice things about you?
I won't say no.
You won't say no. नहीं वो I'll decide after at the end of the interview, depending on our conversation. तुमको भी थोड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी.
मैं तो मेहनत बहुत करता हूँ.
अच्छा ठीक है.
मैं लास्ट 6 दिन से बहुत मेहनत कर रहा हूँ, इसलिए मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप ही ले लो पूरा शो को.
नहीं. See, given the fact that I'm a host and I also do podcasts and I've also been on TV for so many years, the number one thing I judge people on is how good is their research.
Really?
Yeah, because so
my defense is it's a brand new show.
Oh,
it's a show about nothing.
Okay.
That's what we've told you as well before.
Yes.
You can't deny. And yeah, we're experimenting a new format. It's a show about nothing. We'll talk, we'll chill, we'll just hang out as if we're buddies.
Why didn't you name that as the name of the show? वही रखना चाहिए था ना.
Nothing show.
The Nothing.
नहीं, चिल्लार आपको पसंद नहीं आया?
चिल्ला ठीक है.
क्यों?
It's a bit like it's wow. This is controversial.
नहीं बोलो.
चिल्ला is a bit generic.
जेनेरिक बोल दिया. मेरे पॉडकास्ट को आपने जेनेरिक बोल दिया. अब मैं आपसे ऐसे बात कर सकता हूँ? है ना? हाँ. ठीक है.
आप भी बहुत ज़्यादा रिस्पेक्ट देती. आई एम फ्रॉम बॉम्बे. आई से तू टू एवरीवन एंड आई एम लाइक ओह आजकल पीपल डोंट वांट टू तुम नहीं होना चाहिए. तो आई एम लाइक लिसन आई एम सो सॉरी आई सेड टू. जस्ट यस्टरडे आई अपोलोजाइज्ड टू समवन.
अच्छी नहीं है ना? हाँ? बॉम्बे हिंदी अच्छी नहीं है ना?
हिंदी ठीक है. द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट वो रिस्पेक्ट वाली फीलिंग नहीं आती बॉम्बे की हिंदी में.
बट दे नॉट
मुंबई
लाइक दैट
की हिंदी में. मुंबई इस पे हाँ मुंबई.
नहीं आ जाओ इस पे क्या.
हाँ यार ये सी अगर आप बॉम्बे मुंबई if you've been living here your whole life, it's a little bit like in your head it's khichdi, because most of us will say Bombay by habit.
Of course.
Even though we know it's Mumbai. So for politically correct reasons we say Mumbai. Emotion. But yeah, Bombay is an emotion.
But you've always been in Bombay, right?
Primarily, yeah. Grew up, like I was born here, and so Bombay and a few years in the Gulf. Because I also feel like जो मेरे formative years थे, like 8th, 9th, 10th, which is like, when you're in that teenage awkward phase, but you're also figuring out like, oh, okay, this is what life is about, वो Abu Dhabi में थे. So my folks sort of used to, we've shuttled between Mumbai and Bahrain and Mumbai and Abu Dhabi. So I am a little bit of a Gulfi kid also.
गल्फी बोलते हैं?
गल्फी किड बोलते हैं हम लोग.
या आप बोलते हो कूल बनने के लिए?
नहीं हम तो गल्फी किड बोलते हैं.
मैं ऐसे जोक्स मार सकता हूँ बीच में?
मतलब आप इतने परमिशंस क्यों ले रहे हो?
नहीं क्योंकि आजकल पता नहीं.
अच्छा वो कंसेंट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. यस गाइस कंसेंट इज इम्पोर्टेंट.
पता नहीं लोग बड़ा कर देंगे कि रूड होस्ट.
ओ मुझे तो वो हर रोज
आ जाओ.
हाँ हर रोज
उस पे आ जाओ.
हर कमेंट सेक्शन में इट इज लाइक Janice is so over friendly with all her guests. Why does Janice pretend to be friends with all her guests? Just does Janice really think she knows them as well as she does? And I'm just like यार मैं ऐसे ही बात करती हूँ.
क्या दिक्कत क्या है लोगों को?
I don't know. उनको लगता है कि I think खास करके मतलब I sit sometimes with like big actors and A-listers and मुझे लगता है उनको लगता है कि अरे उनको थोड़ा pedestal पे रखना चाहिए. But I'm like अगर मैं उनको pedestal पे रखूँगी and if I fanboy all over them and if I'm only talking to them like they are some oh my god कहाँ से आप mythical creature उतर के आए हो, then वो interview नहीं रहा ना. फिर तो मैं fan ही बन गई.
Correct.
फिर मैं conversation कैसे करूँगी उनके साथ? So I literally my one rule in life is I feel like now it's becoming more of a rule as I say it also like more to myself, talk to everyone the same way. I'm not saying if you have respect for someone don't treat them with that amount of respect, but try and talk to people the same way. Treat everyone the same. Why should you need to treat someone like oh my god you are so and so and oh you're nothing? No, why?
I get you.
I don't know. Do you agree with that kind of philosophy?
Yeah, of course. Because see, I'll tell you one thing. I was discussing this with Naveen Kasturia a couple of days back. And I had him on the show and we were talking and the conversation went like, I don't know, touched what trajectory, I don't know. So I was just sharing this incident that happened with me and I was at the Art of Living International Ashram in Bangalore and I was hosting this event in front of Gurudev, Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji. And I was just discussing this with a couple of my their volunteer friends from Art of Living. And I was telling them that I run a podcast called The Chill Hour and we've hosted guests like Gajraj Rao and Raghav Juyal and a bunch of people. They're like, oh, Gajraj Rao, yeah, fancy, nice. So how was it interviewing him? I was like, firstly, I was blown by his humility. He stopped me right there. He was like, "एक second, why are you blown by such a simple attribute called humility, which basically means that you've put him on a pedestal. Nothing wrong with it, by the way, but you've put him on a pedestal that maybe he's at or he's not, but you've always put yourself below him in the hierarchy. This is hierarchy basis what?"
Yeah.
And I couldn't, I took like a 5-second, 10-second pause and I was like, I don't know how to answer that question.
So can I tell you another incident that happened just yesterday? So I just finished shooting for something, and we were working with this very young stylist who's just like moved to Bombay maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, and she's still struggling with like, you know, fitting in with Mumbai. And she and I ended up having a really long conversation, and then yesterday, you know, she was talking about, oh, you're so nice and you're so this, and then someone else also said, yeah, you're very nice to your team. And I'm like, yeah, but why is this a compliment? This is basic, no? Like, why are we
उनको क्या लगता है मैं
complimenting?
थप्पड़ मार दो टीम वालों को?
हाँ, why
अरे
are
चल,
we
अरे चल मोहित रिकॉर्ड कर यार.
Yeah, why are we complimenting people, and why are we applauding them for doing the absolute
Bare
basic,
minimum,
the
yeah.
absolute bare minimum? Matlab, what, you can't be nice to somebody? What, because you pay them money, or because, I don't know, they're on some sort of payroll, like what, you have to treat them like, oh, I am this and you are nothing? Like, this is like, we need to like normalize treating people the same way, not giving people compliments for being so kind, so nice, so amazing. No, boss, this is all very, very basic. This is basic human behavior. You have, like you just said, introduced this class system in your own head. Ki, oh, she's senior and she's had these many years in this business,
Yeah.
or he's that well respected and known around the world, so you need to treat him a certain way. In fact, in my experience, na Deepak, it's been like, आप जितना, especially with celebrities, actually with everyone, आप जितना normally उनसे बात करो, they also find it like a refreshing experience.
I have noticed that in my limited podcasting experience, where we've done like good 40 odd episodes, we have understood one thing, and that's why I wanted to keep this format. I didn't want to sound it like an interview of sorts, where we just sit and chat on a very human level.
Yeah, it's a little daunting also, because you don't know where the conversation is going to go.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that, because it's an experiment. I don't think anybody has seen this kind of a format before. It's exciting for the audience as well. I've heard things like, shut up, so randomly in the comments, कि यार तू चुप हो जा. मैं चुप होगा तो उनका सोलो पॉडकास्ट हो जाएगा.
Can I tell you a Gajraj Rao story?
Come on.
It happened very recently.
Please have chai, but.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, Deepak has very kindly made me chai in a branded cup. Guys, this is the chill hour, in case you all didn't notice. I've also, along with that, got he's given me some nuts, because I am a little nuts.
Some nuts.
Yeah, and of course, one of my favorite snacks, khari biscuit. मतलब अगर आपने चाय के साथ खारी बिस्किट नहीं खाई है, then guys, what rock are you living under? Where have you been all your life? Gen Z, talking to you. Please try chai and khari biscuit.
Lovely.
Chai,
I don't think I have to do anything on the show.
Khari biscuit.
I don't think I have to do anything on the show. Janice will take over.
No,
and I will learn on the show how Janice does it, what she does on the sets.
But no, wait, I had a Gajraj Rao story.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Gajraj, we basically put out this reel with Manoj Bajpayee. Okay, and where Manoj Bajpayee is trying to decode slang. Okay, or as it happens, the background music, because you know आप वो trending reel वाला music लेते हो, तो वो background music थोड़ा सा high था. So I think
आपा फेर मिलांगे, if I'm not wrong.
आपा फेर मिलांगे, yeah. तो very sweetly Gajraj ji is like, Janice यार वीडियो अच्छा है, but audio बहुत loud है, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, वो correct करो ना उसको. And I'm just like thinking, so cute.
I'll tell you what.
He's bothered to like look at the reel कि audio loud है, and he's like, इसको ठीक करो ना यार. So I was like, okay Gajraj ji, we're trying to do it.
He is the absolute cutest, I think so.
Yeah.
Because when we had him on the show, I was just asking him, Gajraj sir, we'll do a segment, Gen Z wala segment, and we'll do IRL के बारे में बता दो, what is IRL and all of that. And he knew some of them, he didn't know some of them. And then I met him at this, अभी क्या event हुआ था? Spoken Fest happened. So I bumped into him. And I said, Gajraj ji, नमस्कार. कैसे हो आप? कहते हैं बहुत बढ़िया. अरे तू कैसा है तू? मैंने कहा मैं ठीक हूँ सर. कहते हैं कि अच्छा, he held my arm. He's like, अच्छा सुन, फोटो ले यार मेरे साथ.
Oh, so sweet.
फोटो ले, स्टोरी डाल यार, तेरे फॉलोअर्स है, फोटो डाल यार, क्या कर रहा है? मैंने कहा सर मैं डाल रहा हूँ, 1 मिनट बात तो कर लीजिए. 1 मिनट बात कर लेते सर, 5 मिनट. कहते हैं
Gajraj ji is being more Gen Z than us.
Gajraj
huh?
sir is the absolute cutest. Let me put it out on the internet. Let me say it in front of camera. He is the absolute cutest.
See, when we say G and Sir, I feel like that is the form of respect you need to give because someone is maybe older to you, senior to you, and you also know that they're very, like the G and Sir is coming naturally because you're also sort of respecting their talent so much. But again, in my head, there's no pedestal because of this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially when we're on camera, so we are definitely the same two people having a conversation. And again, har ek ki ek style hai. I'm not saying that, journalists who do it or like podcasters or interviewers who do it are wrong. But to me, it's a little off-putting. Ek aur incident tha, like I remember when I was, so I was at Times Now for 6.5 years and I was the entertainment editor. And I remember someone on my team had gone to interview Dharmendra. Okay, and he was doing an interview after a very long time, I think on one of his birthdays. And this was one, like my teammate was a huge fan of his and her family was a huge fan of his. And I totally understood that because, if you watch someone your whole life, it's a moment. And then she came back and she was like, it was so lovely, he was so warm, he was so kind, he was like... And then I watched the interview and the questions were fine, but the opening was something along the lines of, oh, one of my life's biggest dreams is coming true, da 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 da, because I'm sitting next to the one, the only, and I edited it out. And then she came back to me because, as editor, we are also looking at these stories that go on. And I'm like, she's like, why did you edit my opening out? And I said, well, and I won't name her, I just said, listen, I think the rest of the interview, you actually held yourself really well with him. You asked all the right questions with the right amount of respect and love and even the admiration that you have for him. But that opening, you sounded like a fan. And while if you want to keep that for your own record and how he reacted to it, I'm like very happy for you to take a copy of it. But I feel like if I put this out to the audience, then they stop thinking of you as a journalist. Then they're like, anything she asks, she's going to ask only from that POV. And of course, we're all fans of Dharmendra. But as a journalist in particular, I was like, no, there has to be that level of, you have to be able to ask every question that you want to ask.
Yeah.
So thankfully she got it. She was a little annoyed by it, but she got it eventually. She next day she came back, and on the day when I cut it out and like that didn't make it to the show, she was like, yeah, Janice, no, I think you were wrong. But the next day she came back and she's like, I thought about it and it makes sense. Yeah, on camera I don't need to be a fan.
Yeah, because you've been assigned a role.
Yeah.
And if you, ठीक है, you can start off, that can be like a BTS, but that doesn't need to be in the cut, right? ठीक है, that depends on the format of the show as well.
Yeah.
Like, we roll everything.
Yeah, I sat down and he rolled. And I'm like, okay, Janice. Like, he's even smarter than me. At least I tell my guests when I'm going to start rolling.
Are you a popcorn person or a no popcorn person while watching the show?
I have realized over a period of time that popcorn makes me extremely, like I get a lot of acidity from it. I'm sorry, this is going to be that part of the conversation where I'm like, hey, I'm in my mid-30s now and gut ki band बज चुकी है. Gut की बैंड बज चुकी है. Wow.
Took 3 takes for that.
3 takes for gut की बैंड बज चुकी है. Wow.
It is a difficult statement. Gut की बैंड बज चुकी है. Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Sorry, go ahead.
Wow, thanks.
Go ahead, sorry.
Thanks for that. But no, so yeah, मेरी gut की बैंड बज चुकी है. Oh, see, this time it came out so nicely. Like Bachchan. Oh. So over a period of time, I've realized that now I need to start paying attention to these things and start being a little careful about them, because otherwise I get stomach-related infections quite easily. So I've become a no popcorn person, unfortunately.
Which popcorn flavor do you like?
Mix of caramel and cheese, always. These are the only.
Yeah.
These are. He just like when.
Yeah, because.
Yeah, he's like instantly like, भूख लगी है, खा ले ना, खारी बिस्किट खा ले. चाय कहाँ है तेरी? हाँ, अच्छा तेरी.
आपकी चाय कहाँ है?
मेरी यहाँ पे. Okay, let's.
मेरे पास शो पे लोग नहीं आए जिन्होंने मेरे को डांटा है. I think you will be the first one. मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है. मेरे को लगता है आप डांट दोगे मेरे को.
शक्कर ज़्यादा है. ठीक है.
शक्कर ज़्यादा है?
ज़्यादा है.
आप कम पीते हो, नॉर्मल है शक्कर.
हाँ, कितना डाला है?
3 कप चाय में 3 कप शक्कर, 3 चम्मच.
3 चम्मच से तो ज़्यादा ही है.
3 चम्मच ज़्यादा है?
बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं. 3. It is not 1 चम्मच.
चाय भी तो ज़्यादा है. चाय की क्वांटिटी, चाय इतनी पीते हो आप कि ज़्यादा पीते हो, कम पीते हो?
मैं चाय बहुत कम पीती हूँ इन लाइफ.
इन लाइफ?
Chai is my when
अच्छा सॉरी आप असेस करो ना चाय को
Okay.
और बताओ.
मैं दूध थोड़ा कम डालती हूँ.
अच्छा.
हाँ, बिकॉज वो बचपन से ही प्रॉब्लम है मेरा कि मुझको 40 to 50% दूध चाहिए एंड
बाकी
पानी चाहिए.
और क्या डालते हो?
एंड ये जनरली मैं कॉफ़ी की बात कर रही हूँ.
अच्छा.
तो चाय में भी मोर और लेस सेम ही जाता है. मतलब वो चायोस का आता है ना, वो ऑप्शंस में दूध
हाँ,
कम,
less milk, normal
नो
milk,
शुगर, वो
हाँ.
सब मैं डालती हूँ. आई एम दैट पर्सन.
So you are
कस्टमाइज.
50% milk, 50% water.
Yeah, even less than 50% now. And also my milk is, God, I'm going to sound so hipster. I've always as
Almond?
No.
Soy?
No.
अच्छा,
Yeah.
normal.
But yeah, 2% milk.
2% milk.
Because बचपन से I don't like मलाई. और आपको पता है, और मेरी गंदी आदत ये है कि कॉफ़ी और चाय बनने के बाद ये मैं 1 घंटा तक पीती रहूँगी. और अलग अलग जगहों पे, लाइक सो इफ आई एम टेकिंग अ कॉल, वो टेबल पे चला जाएगा. काउच पे बैठी हो तो काउच के टेबल पे चला
बट वो
जाएगा.
ठंडी चाय
चलेगी. हाँ, मैं उसको रीहीट भी नहीं करती, बस पीती रहती हूँ. और बचपन में मेरी माँ, मतलब फ्रॉम द टाइम दैट आई वाज अलाउड टू हैव कॉफ़ी एंड टी, शी यूज्ड टू गेट फेड अप. She would be like, why can't you just sit in one place and along with your whatever nashta you're having, just finish it? And I'd be like, no, this is like my accessory now, like my little bit of a, तू मेरे साथ चलेगा.
फिडल, जैसे वो फिडल करते रहते हैं.
हाँ, तो मैं कॉल्स कर रही हूँ, वही कॉफ़ी पी रही हूँ. यू नो, आई एम गोइंग इन एंड आउट ऑफ द रूम, अपने कैट्स को फीड कर रही हूँ, कॉफ़ी पी रही हूँ. वो 1 घंटा तक चलता रहेगा. आई थिंक माई कुक इज ऑल्सो लिटिल फेड अप. शी इज लाइक, खत्म कर दो ना दीदी, क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
खत्म करो अब.
बिकॉज शी इज लुकिंग एट मी एंड शी इज
निकलने का
लाइक,
है.
हाँ, नो, शी इज लुकिंग एट मी कि बर्तन खत्म करने का. एंड आई एम लाइक, नहीं तुम चले जाना, मैं कर लूँगी इसका, डोंट वरी. बट ये चलता रहेगा. हाँ,
Very
सो
nice.
50-50 एंड वो भी 2% मिल्क, सो इट माइट एज वेल बी वाटर. एंड या, एंड वेरी लिटिल शुगर.
एंड अदरक?
व्हेन आई मेक चाय,
मतलब
या
व्हाट डू यू प्रेफर?
अदरक. इफ लेमन ग्रास इज देयर घर पे, देन लेमन ग्रास.
एंड नो इलायची?
Oh my god, elaichi is the worst spice ever.
Thank you so much, Janice. Oh my god.
I am Mangalorean, guys, which is like, if you don't know, it's a place in Karnataka. I am fully Mangalorean, and Mangaloreans use so much elaichi. And again, like malai from Bachchan, I have hated elaichi.
Thank you so much.
You also don't like it, no?
I hate it. I've made a Netflix style documentary on who put elaichi in my chai, and I will show it to you. It's hilarious. It's inspired from another creator, Western creator, but I'll show it to you. It's hilarious, and I don't like elaichi. How do people have elaichi in their chai?
Forget that. I have a
Biryani.
friend, and I know certain actors who carry a dabba of elaichi, and it's their mouth freshener. And I can understand that because yes, of course, you know. But in my head, I'm like, I can't even bear it. Like, you know, तो इलायची आपको पता है ना, वो जब आप खोलते हो तो उसके वो छोटे छोटे दाने निकलते हैं.
हाँ,
and
इलायची
this and
पता
that.
है.
हाँ, ओहो, बचपन से, like when my mother would say रवा में डालना है, उपमा में डालना है. We used to make vermicelli सेवइयाँ in a different like dry, so उसमें भी डालना है, खीर में डालना है. I used to be like that. If you gave me that responsibility of kutoing the elaichi, I would remove half the elaichis. And then just quickly put it before my mother noticed.
Yeah, I don't know, it's not tasty and
It's just not.
look at her face.
It's just not. I
Editors,
mean,
आप प्लीज मेरे तरफ zoom in करिएगा.
it's no, bro. I'm already large like the moon face, and आप zoom in करोगे. Another controversial food opinion.
आ जाओ.
I hate bhindi. We are not friends now.
We were friends. Janice? Can I tell people Janice Sequeira is my friend?
Shut up.
Yeah?
We will
Really?
decide at the end of this conversation.
अभी तक आपको मजा नहीं आ रहा है? आप क्या लगता है आपको?
I'm a very good actor. I can fake
Oh.
anything. I'm kidding, my
Can you
God.
fake anything?
No, I was like, take that sentence back, Janice. I can fake anything though.
If you are listening. ठीक है, चलो ये तो हो गया. आप अब आ जाओ. When you host shows, right? What do you notice first in a guest when you meet them, when they walk into the set?
Their energy.
Okay.
And I know that this is a very vague thing to say, but I feel like now over the years of doing this, वो energy आपको समझ में आ जाती है.
कैसे? What are the
I don't know,
identifiable factors?
So for example, when an actor is promoting and sometimes they've given you that time to come and shoot with you, आपको पता है कि उनकी body language is only like quickly, one thing to another. But then sometimes, we've also shot episodes very late in the night, and then the actor or the talent or the celebrity has finished all their work for the day and they've come. So they're like, relaxed. Sometimes they're not working on that day, so they've given you that day to shoot. So they're in a very, I'm out to have fun today. And how do I figure out this energy? One is with the body language that they sort of walk in with to the set. Okay, so I know in the first couple of minutes only of looking at them about how aram se they're meeting everyone, how relaxed their vibe is. And I also have this golden rule, Deepak, that I don't start shooting immediately. No, not about like the recording part of it, but I don't start shooting the actual content of my show immediately. I have something called the warm up and ice breaking first 5-10 minutes.
Achha.
Even if someone is on a mad schedule, I need that 5 minutes for them and me to like warm up to each other a little bit.
Got it.
So in my head, I'll always have like a few icebreaker questions.
Like?
Or it could be anything.
Say if you'd be hosting the show right now, this show right now,
Yeah.
and I walk up as the guest, you're the host.
Yeah.
What would you ask me?
An icebreaker question could be anything from like, let's say if a really big trailer came out yesterday and I know that you're a film junkie because I always know enough about my guests, right? So I'll be like, wo dekha kya? But I need to have that conversation because I want you to start talking. Or if, for example, if you put up like a really like a thirst trap of an Instagram picture, even if it's actually in my content, I'll be like, I'll tease them.
Okay.
So like give them a few minutes to settle in and just be. Or just like vibe of like some major news incident has happened, which everyone knows about. Like, padha aapne? Dekha aapne? Like, now we've just had that Poonam Pandey Stunt happen, right? That would probably be an icebreaker question. Like, what the is that?
What do you think of that?
I mean, I think if their end agenda was publicity, they got it. But I feel like as someone who's had friends who's lost parents and family members to the dreaded C word, I think it was the most disgusting way to do it. You can't fake your own death in the name of publicity and creating awareness about cervical cancer. It's not something you with. I'm sorry. Like, I can't even imagine. And this happened over the weekend. And I literally had one of my, I don't know if she's okay with me saying this, but one of my closest childhood friends lose her dad.
I'm sorry.
And he passed away from cancer, different kind of cancer. But in my head, I'm like, can you think of the number of people who would have seen that and thought to themselves like, oh God, another person's passed away to cancer, and this time it's someone you know in the public eye, right? And then the next day you wake up and you realize it's a stunt. Can you imagine how angry they must be?
Yeah, horrible.
So I don't use the word trigger lightly, but this is a triggering incident. And it doesn't matter how much cervical cancer has trended or how much, Poonam Pandey trended and how many people have now decided to go check themselves and, get the vaccine and everything else. This is not the way to have done it. That is my personal opinion. Like, if you thought like you're a marketing genius for faking someone's death and then be like, no, we were trying to spread awareness. No. What you've done is, without realizing, probably triggered thousands of people who've actually had to deal with or have it happen to someone very close to them. And that's not cool.
Yeah, you're taking things very lightly.
No,
and
you've
for granted.
taken it like, and it also felt like, another way for a personality who felt like maybe they were becoming irrelevant to stay relevant. I'm sorry, I'm not going to mince words about this, but like, the reason we know of Poonam Pandey largely I've been, for as long as I've been around, is one, because she had said she'd go naked if India wins the World Cup. I think this was in 2004 or 2004. 2004 ke aspas. And now it's this. And in between, of course, she's popped up over the years and this and that, but everyone's talking about Poonam Pandey now and cervical cancer, and I don't think most people are going like, oh my God, what awareness was created. Slow clap for you. No.
Yeah, not cool at all.
I don't know, what's your take on it? Did you think?
Yeah, I mean, there are better ways. I mean, marketing के नाम पे कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते ना.
Correct.
I mean, there are various forms of marketing. There are various types of marketing. There are various ways to garner eyeballs and attention. But in the name of cervical cancer, for sure, no.
Yeah.
I mean, ठीक है, awareness, attention, all of that is okay, but at the cost of what?
Yeah.
Like, you are literally playing around which is not the right thing to do, because there are people who are losing their lives because of all sorts of cancer. I know one of my dad's very close friends lost his life to cancer. I know a couple of people who are dealing with it right now, and it's a horrible thing, horrible position to be in. And to joke about it, to use it as a marketing medium, sure, not cool. Like,
And the thing is also, Deepak, and now we've gotten a little serious. I mean, I feel like every time now we hear of someone dying, and especially if it's someone in the public eye dying, it also triggers a lot of other emotions, right? Where I've been talking about this a lot with like close friends, my team, and like how we've become a very slightly sad and lonely generation, despite the fact that we might have the best of friends, great family, probably good partners, all of that. But there is this, I don't know, COVID has left this tinge of sadness in all of us, right? So now when we hear about deaths, it's a lot more triggering than before. Like now it's not like, oh, another person has died. It's not like people haven't been passing away over the years, right? But now, especially when a public personality dies and they die of something preventable, it's even more like, oh God, oh what? Like, I mean, it is that kind of a reaction, and then it earlier it might have been a oh what reaction and you move on with your life. Now it's an oh what and you're thinking about it the whole day. I don't know, is that making sense
Yeah,
to you?
that
Like
does make
post-COVID,
sense.
I feel like when we hear of public personalities passing away of something that was preventable, or in a lot of cases them taking their own lives, or due to other reasons, we're a lot like, oh shit, yeah, I need to look back at my life and reevaluate. And then next day अगर आपको लगता है कि आपका मजाक उड़ाया गया है, you're just like, I didn't need that. है मेरे कंधों पे enough बोझ already. ये नहीं चाहिए था मुझे. I didn't need this sitting in my head as well.
yeah, this makes, I mean, I don't know, very, very stupid, unnecessary marketing tactic to sort of bring about awareness for something that is so serious. And so, I don't know, matlab, people lose lives to cancer on a daily basis. And there are various ways to spread awareness about it. Surely this is not the one.
Yeah. But coming back to what we were talking about, which is icebreaker questions and how you basically warm up your guests. So I always take that 5-10 minutes. In hindsight, no, Poonam Pandey and her publicity stunt would not have been an icebreaker question, because I think I would have played out this conversation and been like, no, there is no funny way to end this conversation.
Yeah,
so
true.
the icebreaker question is also something around a topic that gets them chatty, but not also like puts them in a kind of sadder mood than they already might have been. Because sometimes like actors are promoting films back to back, or creators are shooting back to back, and then they come and they're like, yaar, nahi. No.
Achha, we skipped a question, we didn't complete the question. You're talking about energy. And you said the moment somebody walks in, the moment how people talk, or just their way of addressing people, that's how you notice their energy. What other ways are there?
So one is, of course, when they come in and sort of, meet everyone on the set. The other is when they sit down. Everyone has a way of sitting down.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Let's go deep on that.
Okay, so some people come in and just like me, like make themselves very, like I also have a couch when I'm shooting largely. Like this is, I'm talking about social media stuff. Even with our podcast, we try to keep like, the seating relatively comfortable, because we want you to get comfortable, right? Like this is thought out, like we've thought this out, like, while discussing the format. Like the couch has to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable enough to want to talk about things.
Right.
So how they sit.
ठीक है.
So some people come and really like फैल जाते कि आज बात करेंगे. तो मुझे पता है कि वो episode already intrinsically I know that is going to be a good episode.
Right.
Then some come and they have that body language and they're like, yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, sure. Yeah, touch up. Okay. And then I know, okay, I need 5 minutes with this person properly to make them feel more comfortable. So again, it's all body language based. It's all your initial non-verbal cues that you're giving me. And then it's about the first few things that come out of your mouth. So if someone is very stressed, for example, the first thing they'll talk about is, yaar, I've not slept, like how I did, right? I came and I was like, I've not slept for the last couple of days properly. I'm very bloated. I'm very this. I'm very tired. Someone will be like, क्या चल रहा है? मस्त? You know that, अच्छा, वो बंदा chill mood में है. Zone में, हाँ. And then some of them just come and they're like, अरे यार, I want to eat something. Or I want some coffee and this and that. And that banda is also chill.
Right.
Sometimes people are hardcore stressed. Like, and their energy only is like, no, this, Yeah. And then I've done this. I like put my mic, and I ask them to cover this, and I'm like, what's up? We talk for 2 minutes. Sometimes people have actually spoken. Sometimes it's just like, no, now that you pointed it out, okay, I know I need to chill out.
Can you share like a incident where you have felt you have felt pressurized to take that interview, and you were actually stressed for that interview, but it went like a smooth breeze?
Pressurized to do an interview तो मेरे साथ नहीं
Pressurized
होता है.
मतलब मैं I don't know if I've been able to articulate
No,
it
I don't know if
properly.
anyone's ever put me under pressure to do an interview.
अरे pressure
Other
नहीं
than-
मतलब मैं समझा नहीं पा रहा हूँ I think, but what I'm trying to say is कि
I was stressed about an interview.
stressed, चलो ठीक है, correct, stressed is the right word.
Stressed about an
The
interview.
English teacher would be so mad at me. इतना तुमको पढ़ाया, तुम pressure को stress
My
बोल रहे हो।
mother is also like a English lit professor.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry auntie, my bad.
If you call her auntie, तो she'll definitely not talk to you.
Sorry, Mrs. Janice's mom. I'm sorry. Please don't be mad at me.
Stressed about
I'm from ICSE. I shouldn't be saying this. Anyway, that's a different debate altogether.
CBSE और ICSE और SSC की लड़ाई होने वाली है. बाकी सब
Which board are you from?
I did SSC till 8th grade and then CBSE from 8th to 10th.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you were saying something. Let's not go there.
Okay, celebrity interview that I felt like I was really stressed about. Okay, I'm going to narrate this incident because I was really like happy about how professional she was, because it was a really stressful situation for my guest. So I was shooting with Ananya Panday and Shrishti Dikshit, and about 15 or 20 minutes before Ananya was supposed to arrive, I got a call from her manager saying that she's lost her grandmom. So Chunky Pandey's mom had passed away. And in my head, and the thing is, see, Deepak, people might assume that we get a lot of money to do social media star, or that we had lots of money to spend for as many days, but actually not. We're really like tight on like spending budgets and everything, right? So if an actor cancels and we're losing studio time and all my technicians and my artists who've come and their time, it's a big loss. But of course, I mean, if someone has lost their grandmom, I'm not going to say that. So in my head, I was like instantly feeling terrible for her, then instantly also wondering what are we going to do, because this is like 15-20 minutes before she comes. And thankfully, I think I know her mom reasonably well, so I called Bhavna, gave my condolences. She picked up, thankfully, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, what do you want to do? Should I tell Ananya to go back home and this and that? And she's like, no, she's reached down, sir. I'm talking to her, just give me 5 minutes. And I was for sure, I told my team, I'm like, guys, I think this is not happening. And Shrishti was very understanding. Everyone was understanding, of course. I mean, you've lost someone so close to you. But to my shock and surprise, she came. She came up. She came up to the studio. We went inside the dressing room. We had a quick chat. I said, are you okay? She hugged me. I hugged her. I was like, I'm so sorry for your loss. And she's like, yeah, mom and dad are anyway getting into the arrangements. So right now there is nothing for me to go and contribute. And I know that your entire team is waiting and everyone's here. So let's go ahead and do it. And I said, are you sure? And she said, yeah, I'll do it. And I cannot tell you, because I think her mom explained to her, I mean, I don't know, this is my educated guess, that that it would mean a loss for her, because I think, sometimes your momagers are also like, Bhavna is a momager, okay, I get to call her that, and she's also very like involved in her daughter's career and everything. So I think Bhavna understood that, and she said, you know what, you've given a commitment, go finish it. In the meanwhile, dad and I will handle things, and then you come to us. And she came. We gave her a few minutes. We didn't make it a big deal. So I told the team, like, you better behave. Like, no one's going to treat her any differently or make her feel even worse than she already is. And we shot. And if you watch that episode, honestly, I think for that 1 hour, that girl just switched off everything else that was happening and said, okay, I'm here. I have to finish this. These guys are waiting and dependent on me. Let's do this. Because I know the minute it ended, she went into the changing room. She immediately changed, and I think she took a few minutes to herself, and then she had like a family member and a close friend come pick her up. So that to me just won tremendous amount of brownie points and respect in my eyes. I was like, if you could do that on a day like that, just because you didn't want me to have a loss, and I'm not like a friend or someone who's really tight with you that you needed to do that, but just out of like professional commitment, 10 on 10.
Phenomenal, yeah. Phenomenal. I think these are stories that people don't know of. I mean, what people see is like the finished product, like the edited out 20-minute cut or the 35-minute cut. But what people don't see is the raw version of who people are and how people conduct themselves.
If memory serves me right, I think हम जब shoot कर रहे थे, उसने लिए थे एक दो breaks. She needed like a couple of minutes to drink, because imagine you've lost someone who's so close to you. And I don't know if you guys know about Chunky Pandey's mom, but she was quite like a baller and a legendary figure in her own right. Like, you know, go read up about her if you guys haven't. If you guys don't know, like Google it and properly, like, let me not do injustice to it without being prepped for it. But to lose someone that close to you and to just constantly only ask for a couple of minutes of break to sip on water, recenter yourself, because we're shooting like game segments, fun segments, this segment, that segment. In fact, I really wish if you could like link it, if you're going to put this on YouTube, link it, because watch it. I watch it from an entire perspective of making sure that it doesn't come across like she was having any lows. But if you watch that interview, you can see it takes her a little bit of time to open up. But she nailed it. Yeah.
Interesting.
These are the kind of things that you really sort of, like, okay, not everyone's, you know, trying to be an asshole or whatever. I'm not saying, actually, my experience with actors, I'm beginning to realize more and more, I've not had too many bad experiences.
What's been the most wholesome experience?
Oh God, wholesome to bahut sare. Yesterday only I was remembering this. So, it was my birthday, and I remember
Yesterday was your birthday?
Yesterday was not my birthday, but many years ago on my birthday, I had an early morning shoot with Mr. Bachchan. This was for another season of KBC, and in that, this is when Mr. Bachchan was still doing media interviews and all that. So this must be a good, I want to say, like, I was still at Times now.
7, 8 years, 10 years back.
I think, maybe 2013, 2014, around that time. Yeah, and I was at Times now, and
2013 को 10 साल हो गए भाई साहब, sorry. Just अभी तो मैं कॉलेज में था. Anyway, sorry. I'm just
तो अभी कॉलेज में था.
नहीं, 2014
मुझे तो काम करते करते अभी ऑलमोस्ट 15 से ज़्यादा साल हो गए.
चलो ठीक है ना, वो बाद में रोएंगे अब साथ में.
उम्र के बारे में बाद में रोएंगे. So, Mr. Bachchan is like, you can set your watches as per his arrival and exit. He is punctual to the T. Okay, so I told my friends, guys, you know, we can't do anything crazy the night before. And this is like, I'm in my, like, 2013, meaning still in my 20s. Anyway, so told my friends, we can't do anything
Overacting कर रहे हो?
हाँ, overacting कर रहे हो. थोड़ी सी 50 पैसे कट कर लेना. हाँ. 50 पैसे कट. But no, I do cry a lot about my age. Okay, so we've gone the next morning, early morning shoot, and I was the first slot also because, you know, I feel like an, again, educated guest. Like, I'd met Mr. Bachchan a bunch of times during those couple of years because he was doing a lot of film promotions. So he had, I feel like he knew me and he was kind of like fond of me कि ये लड़की ठीक ठाक सवाल पूछ लेती है, irritate नहीं करती है बाकियों की तरह maybe.
Okay. Oh, well done.
So I was the first slot.
What you did there.
And self goal. I've sat there and I'm just like, okay, he's come like dot on time, he's arrived, we've shot for 25 minutes, we've done the interview and this and that. And the other people, like my team, my cameraman and like a couple of the people who had organized the interview, they knew it was my birthday. So as soon as the interview stopped rolling, they came and they wished me, oh, happy birthday, thanks for agreeing to do this on your birthday. And I was like, no, I wanted to do it and this and that. And then I think he noticed. So he comes to me and he has a very poker face way of talking, okay?
Okay, how does Mr. Bachchan talk?
I can't, यार दीपक,
please. Janice, मजा आ जाएगा. मैं बोल रहा हूँ एपिसोड बन जाएगा अपना.
नहीं यार, it's like Janice, and he sometimes used to say, मोहतरमा.
प्लीज वो एक बार वो आवाज अच्छे से निकाल. हो जाएगा. मेरे को लगता है Janice,
बिल्कुल नहीं.
मेरे को लगता है एपिसोड बना दोगे मेरा.
Oh God,
you
no!
will remember this. You will want this clip. I'm telling you.
I don't want this clip.
You will want this clip. I will send you a cutout reel of this.
Oh God. Okay,
please,
sir.
कर दो मजा आ जाएगा. You will show this to your friends when you're sitting at a party and discussing about the podcast, if you have that much time. But please do it.
Okay, so.
आ जाओ. अरे मजा आ जाएगा. Netra, have you seen this? Have you seen Janice do a Mr. Bachchan mimicry?
Because Janice doesn't do mimicry at all. Netra, by the way, is my Q2 who works with me and she's behind the camera and she's also like.
We'll get Netra on the frame after after you complete the story. So be prepared.
Why? Because what Netra should also like spill some about me. She said no.
We'll talk about that later. But go on. Please do Mr. Bachchan mimicry.
He came up to me in a very typical fashion. First of all, Mr. Bachchan was always chewing on. I noticed like always chewing on some sort of like dry fruits. Okay, always. And so he came.
Mr. Bachchan and I are similar. Well done.
So he's come up to me, and I, to the best of my knowledge, he says, "Mohtarma, is it your birthday today?" I said, "Yes, sir." And like, yeah. So he wishes me happy birthday, and I get that half hug, and he's like, "Wait," and then he wrote me a handwritten happy birthday with like a 2 lines on it. I don't remember what the lines are, and he gave it to me. And to anyone in this business, you know that Mr. Bachchan's letters are legendary. आपने अच्छी डेब्यू की, आपको मिस्टर बच्चन की तरफ से वो गुलदस्ता मिलेगा, वो हैंड रिटन लेटर मिलेगा with his thoughts about your performance, and those are the things that I know a lot of actors and artists and technicians sort of cherish for the rest of their life. Because imagine a stalwart like him. So imagine a stalwart like him on my birthday saying happy birthday Janice and writing 2 lines personally for me with his trademark signature. Oof!
क्या बात है, क्या बात है.
Yeah,
How sweet.
that was a moment. I was like, best birthday gift ever.
Yeah.
Glad I agreed to do this on my birthday.
No regrets whatsoever.
No regrets.
Of course.
No regrets. Also, to be completely honest, I was a little hungover.
Yeah?
Yeah, but my hangover gave me this glow. I don't know whether it was like that interview.
Does hangover give you a glow?
I believe it does sometimes in your early years. Not now. Next day, now you're trashed.
Still early. Netra, can you come on the frame once?
Oh God.
Aajo, please. We've done this, like we've started doing this off late, and it's been a lot of fun. Aajo.
Guys,
Can you,
Netra?
are you able to sit there?
Yeah,
If that's
I'm gonna try only. I'm
ठीक है. And can you please take the Mohit bhai, can you please fix the frame once? और एक बार माइक को नेत्रा के पास रख दो ना please थोड़ा
What
सा.
curry biscuit?
I've been so tempted to eat it, but like,
Can you
वो आ
please, why are you
जाएगा.
not eating?
वो sound आ
Please,
जाएगा.
अरे वो sound is ASMR. Please have it. Please have
But
it.
that's not the aesthetic we're going for.
No, why? Who is deciding the aesthetic?
Shoot. There you go. Ha.
आवाज ही नहीं निकल रही. वो देखो कोई पिच ही नहीं है उसमें.
रुक जाओ.
आजो. हुक दे रही है जैनिस. No.
I'm chewing
What is
it.
wrong with you? Okay, go ahead. This
Why
one.
do you try?
No. Okay, I'll try. Okay, give me. क्या करवा रही है जैनिस?
मैं करा रही हूँ.
हाँ, आप ही बोल रहे हो?
She's an ASMR. Chewing के टाइम पे नहीं आ रही है.
But that
Crunch
initial, crunch.
Anyway, I don't know why is this important, but ठीक है. Audience को भी अच्छा लगेगा.
I can introduce Netra nicely.
Go for it.
So Netra is my bacha, in the sense that
Bacha.
she's like my younger sister who I'm super protective of. We worked together now for the last 5 years, and we had a very cute. We had a meet cute online.
ये क्या होता है?
A meet cute is like when you have a really nice way of meeting somebody. Okay.
Is this very popular among women? Meet
No, it's
cute,
very
ये
cute
ऐसे
among-
बोलते हैं.
Meet cute, guys. Please educate Deepak and tell him that it's a very common term. Is it not a common term?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And I feel
Common
like
among
meet cute is
which
not
set
just
of people?
Gen Z.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah. Neither am
Neither
I.
am I.
ठीक है, मैं sorry.
So meet cute is like
Two
when
women
you
feeling attacked.
meet someone in a really cute way, literally that.
Oh,
Or like sometimes it happens like unexpectedly, like it's a meet cute, when you are not expecting it. So, and I've begun to feel like meet cute is not just between a man and a woman or two people who are romantically or attracted to each other.
Yeah.
But it could also happen with someone who you're working with. So Netra sent me. Did you send me an email?
I sent her an email actually. This was back when I was still studying in London, and I just discovered SMS, and I was like, oh my god, look at this
SMS is social
media
stuff.
star with
oh,
Janice.
thanks.
Yeah, and
Oh.
I had just discovered her show, and I was like, oh my god, she could be the next Ellen.
No,
I'm
please
not.
don't say these
I'm
names.
not exaggerating, but I went
I'm
on
crying.
this deep dive. I found her email on Instagram, and I wrote to her, and I was like, you know what? There's no chance I'm getting an email back. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just push the envelope a bit.
Why?
I'll DM her. I'll slide into her DMs.
एक second. Janice and I discussed about this.
I know.
I want to
know.
come to you. Why did you think you would not get a response?
I don't know. I just felt like it's like a long shot, like just shooting an email with my resume. I was like, and I was still about finishing college back then. So I was like, okay, let's see. And then I slid into her DMs, and then she very coolly, casually, yeah, sure. I mean, I just wrapped a season, but let's connect again, and then we'll take things from there. And literally, I was like mesmerized. I was like, oh my god, she like actually responded. Then she went back to my email and responded to my email too, and then the rest is history. But yeah.
Lovely. So you've been working 5 years now.
She
Netra.
took a break in between, okay, for 1.5 years.
Yeah.
To go work for other people, and then she came back.
Really?
Yeah.
Netra, who are you
Let's
working?
not talk
who are you
about,
working for?
No. I'd rather stay away from the 1.5 years of my endeavor. The endeavor and the adventure I never intended on embarking on. But yeah.
चलो ठीक है, ये बहुत ही filtered way में बात हो रही है. मेरे को बहुत ही openly बात करनी है, ठीक है? आप बताओ सबसे annoying habit Janice के बारे में. सबसे annoying, and I want the editor साहब to please zoom in on Janice for now.
Oh my god.
Because she has her eyes so wide right now.
Annoying habit.
आ जाओ. Have you discussed this before with Netra? Okay, well done. Yes. What a smart podcaster,
What
Deepak.
is my
We have to follow up with her. Like एक चीज के बारे में like मतलब 5 times or 6 times in a
Sorry,
day.
Janice.
That is
Sorry for
something
doing this to
where
you.
She's her manager, like, so we're like a very good like a team of like I think 6-7 girls,
and from which only 3 of us work together on a
daily basis, and literally
You are not allowed to
Bhavna
speak when she's speaking. Hold on. Let her
Bhavna and
complete.
I will send her like flood her like WhatsApp every day between 9 and 10 a.m. and between 10 and 2 5 reminders have already gone. Ki Janice, what's happening with this? Janice, what's happening?
Well done, Janice.
That
How
is
irresponsible of you.
That is, but then after 4 o'clock, ma'am is like awake and she will like dhana dhan
4 o'clock in the evening, she's awake.
Yeah, but
Well done.
but we listen. We might also be misunderstanding for the simple reason that she might be using that time to complete.
एक second, hello.
So that
एक
could
second,
also.
एक second, सुनो मेरी
I'm
बात.
playing devil's advocate.
एक second, सुनो मेरी
here.
बात, सुनो मेरी बात. मैं बहुत टाइम से ये कर रहा हूँ. ये सब बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है कि she must be. ठीक है.
बहुत टाइम से कर रहे हो. कब से कर रहे हो
अरे
दीपक?
कंटेंट तो 5.5 साल से कर रहा हूँ.
ठीक.
Oh wow.
कंटेंट को numbers might say otherwise, but मैं काम तो बहुत टाइम से कर रहा हूँ. मेहनत अपन.
मेरे तो तुझसे भी आधे हैं, okay? अगर सिर्फ Instagram की बात.
YouTube तो आप forex चल रहे हो.
So the worst habit is.
हाँ, so I have done this a lot, so we don't have to cover. I'm sure she's very hardworking, and I can see that. But okay, Janice.
Yeah, okay.
What's your nickname, Janice?
What do you call me, Netra?
Jan. Yeah, Jan.
Yeah, but I have a lot of nicknames. People call me Jan. People call me Jan. Some people call me JS. Some people just say J. Some people say other versions of it when they don't know how to pronounce it. But no.
Has anybody called you Janu?
Yes. Someone has also dedicated Janu Meri Jan as like a song to me.
I'm not going into names.
Yes.
I've said I'm sorry once already. I don't want to repeat. It's okay, it's fine.
That was so harsh. Anyone who watches this is going to think I'm so unprofessional.
No.
Acha, theek hai. This is your time to redeem yourself.
No,
One very good habit that you think Jan. I'll call you Jan.
Yeah, call me.
Take a Jan. So one very good habit that you find Jan has.
Listen, it's a little pushing it, but I feel like there are plenty. But I think the one good
When you
habit.
start an answer with "I'm pushing it,"
But anyway, no, before she says stop being like my mother. But I think the one good habit Janice has, and which she also, elaborated on the podcast, is that I think I've imbibed it from her to kind of treat everyone the same. Not putting anyone on a pedestal, because I mean she's told me like, the first thing, when you meet someone on my set, the quality of being starstruck, that is something that someone can pick up on immediately. But the minute you kind of let your guard down, be like, okay, this is another person I am just working with today, that kind of changes the equation. And like even she said, I've noticed it as well, they change around you as well. They're like, okay, yeah, this person is working in a professional capacity, they're just getting things done. So yeah, I think that's like one good quality I think over the years I've imbibed. So
well done, Jan.
yeah.
What else? Say one more nice thing now.
Why?
One more nice thing.
She started.
5
एक
followers
second.
you
She
need
started.
apparently. Bhavna, do you need 5? My God, I will cry. Oof.
One more nice thing.
No, I didn't ask you
she
that
didn't
question.
ask.
No, you don't have to
You
answer.
don't? Okay,
No.
I'm good.
So, give me some industry goss.
Oh, and you think you're the first person to ever have asked me this?
No.
You know what I'm.
But I want you to answer it on my show.
You know what I am, right? I'm that little. Sometimes I feel like I'm one little. लोगों ने मुझे को हायर किया है एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए. मैं मजाक नहीं कर रही हूँ, मेरे दोस्तों के साथ भी ये होता है. मेरी दोस्त है राशि, ओके, दिल्ली की रहने वाली है, अब तो कहीं और रहती, बट दिल्ली, उसकी शादी दिल्ली में हो रही थी. एंड आई रिमेंबर हम सब मतलब बहुत एक्साइटमेंट में हमने शताब्दी ली थी ओवरनाइट, और हम गए थे, और सुबह सुबह एंड शी केप्ट टेलिंग मी ऑल माई आंटीज आर रियली एक्साइटेड टू मीट यू. एंड आई एम लाइक क्यों, like, you know, all my masis, bua, everyone's like waiting for me to come. And this is many years ago. So I literally reach, and we've come by train, so we're all early morning, sleepy, weepy. और उनका चल रहा था, they were playing songs, ढोल बज रही थी, ये वो. We were supposed to quickly go change and come and get our mehendi done as well. No! Janice has come. She drags me, and I'm put in the center of all her aunts and all the ladies. And she's like, this is the friend I was telling you about. And I'm like, हो क्या रहा है? And then start the questions. क्या ये सच है? Are these two really married? Are these two thinking about getting married? Are these two actually dating each other? Have you met this one? What is this one like in person? And I'm like, oh, मैं वो शो हूँ, मैं तो entertainment हूँ यहाँ पर. And उसके बाद इतने सारे पार्टीज पे मेरे साथ ये होता है कि मतलब जब कुछ कॉन्वर्जेशन नहीं चल रहा है, जानिस कुछ इंडस्ट्री गॉस देना. मैं क्या हूँ, लाइक डू आई लुक लाइक सम ब्लाइंड वेबसाइट टू यू गाइस कि मैं तुम लोग को बोलूँगी. एंड देन पीपल गो एंड देन दे मिसकोट. ओके, लाइक इमेजिन इफ आई हैव शेयर्ड समथिंग दैट हैज हैपेंड विद यू, राइट? फिर तुमने जाके अपना 50% मिर्च मसाला उस पर लगा दिया, और तुमने तीसरे बंदे को बता दिया, और तो तीसरा बंदा तुम्हें पूछा तुमने कहाँ से सुना, तो बोलेगा जानिस से सुना. तो वो बंदा सोचेगा ओ, और वो अपना खुद का मिर्च मसाला डाल के फिर तो चौथे बंदे को बताएगा. बाय द टाइम इट हैज रीच द 10th person, and that person will be like, listen, I heard you knew about this and this. I was like, what? This is not even 1/10 of the story that was narrated, because that is how gossip
Chinese
works,
whispers,
right?
yeah, I know. Okay, hold on. Come to the industry gossip again.
What industry gossip?
Okay, you okay? ठीक है,
Ask me specific questions, I shall tell you no lies.
Is Ananya Panday dating anybody?
Of course she is. I think the whole world knows that.
Who?
You know, you should go to my friend Bhavna's Instagram.
No,
because I think we were at a concert recently.
This is a very specific question.
And I think Bhavna wanted a picture with this actor called Aditya Roy Kapoor. And by mistake, we ended up clicking Ananya also in the same frame. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know if they're dating or they came as friends. I'm sorry, Ananya.
5 seconds back you said she is. 5 seconds later you said.
So you make what you have to of that. Damn it. भावना तेरी फोटो डाल दे यार इंस्टाग्राम पे. नहीं, तू ऑलरेडी डाल चुकी है, वो तो पिंक विला पे भी आ चुका है. फोटो क्रेडिट दी नहीं तूने लेकिन.
So this is what you've been asked, like in most parties, and like कुछ industry gossip दे दे यार, कुछ ये दे दे, कुछ ये बता दे.
It just happens all the time.
But okay, let me ask you something else. ठीक है. You've taken so many interviews, right? You've done so many shows, you've done TV, you've done ads, like you've done so many things in terms of
Who's
interviews.
my favorite person to interview?
नहीं यार.
Oh God, who's my least favorite person to interview?
नहीं.
Then
आपने ये
now you're just like, now I figured it out, okay, Deepak. So basically Deepak doesn't want to do the cliches, okay? So I have to make him uncomfortable before he approaches the question and preempt it, and then make sure that I've shamed him for the question. So he's like, nahi yaar, I can't let myself down like this. I have to think of a new question. So I can see his brain is also working while I've said, oh, worst experience, best experience. Nahi, I'm not that obvious. I'm not that apparent.
Cons of having a host as the guest. That is it. No, my point is, how do you become a good interviewer? How do you improve as an interviewer?
Okay, I actually do have a lot to say. Yeah. Good question, sure. Because this is something I feel like...
Not the cliche one.
Yes, not the cliche one. Number one thing, study.
Do you think I have studied? अच्छा ठीक है, वो तो different format है, चलो ठीक है.
I have no idea whether you studied or not. Because you've not even asked me about the one big thing that everyone else asks about.
Great, because I don't ask about it.
Great.
What is it?
Arnab Goswami. भूल गया ना तू?
मैं पूछूंगा.
भूल गया ना?
नहीं, एक्चुअली भूला नहीं था, बट मेरे को ये था कि मतलब इतनी बार आप बात कर चुके हो,
कहाँ पे देखा आपने मुझे बात करते?
नहीं, but it's one question that I'm sure you must be asked, right?
Yeah,
because
that's
you're working
another.
at Times.
So one is like industry gossip bata, and then the minute I mention I've worked at Times now, it's this.
आ जाएंगे. पहले ये complete करो.
क्या था सवाल?
देखो, not a good listener.
No. I remember the question. So
Defense हो गया.
my number one thing is study.
Oh,
Okay.
study about the guest.
Because also अभी क्या हो गया है कि लोग पढ़ाई करके नहीं जा रहे. In fact, like when I was I was shooting something for a new series, and every time I said something to this person like, oh, I saw this, oh, I know this is your favorite film, and they were like, how? And I'm like, because I actually studied. Or like if you see actors are giving a lot of out of context answers or explaining or over explaining themselves, it's because they think that the interviewer doesn't know, and then very often I have to go like, no, I do know about this. Like I of course I know about your work, or of course I know about your this is something that you like and dislike.
Correct.
And they're like, oh, okay, how? And I'm like, because I studied. I've watched a lot of your interviews. I've seen your body language. I've seen your style of how you, the kind of questions you enjoy, the kind of things you like talking about. So of course I've not come ill prepared. That's number one. Feel like that's a golden mantra in life. Anything you want to do, job interview, you want to, you're dating someone and you want to sort of make them feel like they're heard and understood. If you're I don't know, with your family, if you're in any situation, if you're going to meet someone important, if you're going to be in front of celebrities, if you study, which means that if you've taken the time out to understand that person, observe that person, learn a little something about them, it will always hold you in really, really good stead. So
Noted.
Yeah, that is number one. Number two is be yourself. Okay, so honestly, I know at the beginning of this interview, I said don't come across like a fan and thing. I still stick by that because I feel like that energy is not giving you great answers from the person in front of you. But if that works for you and that's what you are comfortable doing, do it. So be yourself, be your most authentic self. Like try it at least. Like what is the worst that will happen? After a few that you'll realize, okay, ये मुझको अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, ये ठीक नहीं लग रहा, ये ज़्यादा overshare हो रहा. So whatever. But try at least as much as possible to be yourself. Third is, and I know this is a difficult one, but I feel like for interviewing you need to have a little bit of confidence. Okay, and confidence isn't something that any of us I feel like are born with. Yes, of course, there are people from a very early age who've been on stage and who have been sort of pushed into that space, so they appear more confident by the time they're adults. But confidence is only a lot of us sort of centering ourselves and knowing that okay, we know what we're talking about and what we're here to do. And that energy will come off. So that also comes from studying. So if you've studied, you'll automatically be a little bit more confident, just like you are for your exams, right? आप पढ़ाई करके जाओगे तो आपको भी पता है कि एग्जाम में मैं थोड़ा confident हूँ. So that confidence actually comes from making sure that you've dressed well or dressed correctly for that situation. You've studied, you've centered yourself. You know that you want to be yourself with this person. So that confidence comes from there. If you can, and fourth, dress well. Dress for the brief that the brand has given you, that your show demands of you, that the situation demands of you.
Very important.
Because 99% of the time, if you are comfortable and confident in what you are wearing, the way you look, people say, oh, I don't care about how I look, I'm not that shallow. But when it's on camera, especially, everyone gives Please. Like you want to seem like, like you looked fine. So if you dress, that also that confidence kind of automatically comes through.
It shows.
These are my few golden mantras. Padhai kar lo, be yourself, dress well, and then use all of that into exuding a certain amount of confidence.
Lovely. That's my reel.
Okay. That is your reel?
Yeah.
After everything else we spoke about?
One. Of course, we'll talk about a couple of things. But towards the end, let's come to what we spoke about 10 seconds back. Your experience with Arnab Goswami.
Okay, so I joined Times Now as a
entertainment editor.
No. I joined them as a senior correspondent. And I joined Times Now when I was what? When I was 23 and a half? Yeah, 23 and a half. And within that 6.5 year period, I rose through the ranks quite quickly. Arnab is one of those bosses who likes to give younger talents a chance, and that's also primarily because he knows they're hungrier. So I feel like he has that great capacity for reading how hungry a person is. And unabashedly ambitious people, you can tell them in a crowd also. And I think in my early years, I was that. When I was starting off, like I started working very early. So by the time I reached Times Now, I knew I want to rise through the ranks. I was a hungry reporter. I was like, someone who was an enthu cutlet. I would do the hours. And I think he saw that very early on. And now it's not something I recommend to a lot of friends. But at that time, I was that person. So within, I feel like 2 years of being in the company, I was made entertainment editor. I think at one point of time, I was India's youngest entertainment editor. It was something, of course, that Mr. Goswami never let me forget, that I have made you the youngest entertainment editor in the country. And in hindsight, I was like, okay, this is a very big mantle to take on. What was it like working with him? I'll tell you two things, okay? One is that most of the people who have worked with Arnab and who have left do have a little bit of, I don't want to use the term PTSD, but I don't know how else to describe it. Like, there are trauma issues involved in working in such a hectic and often toxic environment as well. Okay, that was like a lot. Like, you never knew what was going to happen at that workplace, or which story that you didn't even think twice about is suddenly going to become the headline of the day. Because Arnab was very clear, he wanted to be the one that everyone follows. And this is, I'm talking about, I joined in 2008, 2009. So from a very early time when I joined Times Now, like, Times Now was on the rise. After 2611, their fortunes changed almost overnight. And his thinking also changed. So he was like, no, I want people to follow us. So headlines that you had not even thought of would become a headline, became the top headline of the day. And that would mean that all departments would have to go out and get opinions and quotes about it. I feel like we were also among the first to start that trend. कि मतलब सबसे जाके opinion मांगो, या कौन से एक्टर से मिल रहे हो आज, ओके आई वांट ऑल योर टीम मेंबर्स टू आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन. कौन से स्पोर्ट्स पर्सनालिटी से मिल के आ रहे हो, सबसे पूछो. कौन से पॉलिटिकल पॉलिटिशियन से मिल रहे हो, उनसे पूछो. So it was crazy. The other part is, and also like his behavior was very like, you didn't know which day you're going to meet. I am today in a good mood and I am today in a horrible mood. And when he was in a horrible mood, you did not want to be in his eye line. We all had this joke, when Arnab's in a bad mood, avoid him at all costs, like do not come in his eye line.
What would he do if he's in a horrible mood?
Democracy and screaming. And have you been in a newsroom?
No, not yet.
So newsroom is a very like open working space. Okay, there's like a main news desk in the center where all the news, like everyone who's copy editing the scripts and putting it on the air, all of them. That's the news, like the center of the newsroom. And Baju mein all the departments are sitting, but it's, at Times Now had a very open office. So it's like literally आपको डांट अकेले में नहीं पड़ रही है, सबके सामने पड़ रही है. And then it would take you 6 months to a year to understand that there's democracy in screaming also. सबकी बज रही है.
Got it.
But of course that has a lasting impact on you, right? Like, you don't want to be the person pinpointed and yelled at horribly in front of like maybe 60 to 80 of your colleagues. So I feel like the bathrooms in Times Now were overused, क्योंकि हर कोई जाके रोया है. आप मर्द हो या औरत, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. आप चाहे जाके रोए हो या फिर आपने जाके मतलब you just had to go there to wash your face and just go like breathe. Yeah. And I don't know why some of us stuck around for so long, because I know you either left immediately because you're like, ये मैं कर ही नहीं सकती या सकता, or you stuck around for as long as I did. I know people who stuck around for longer. But on the flip side, it taught me I can survive in any environment. Maybe that was not the way to learn it. But today, no matter how hyper I might be about a situation before, but once I'm actually in a pressure situation, especially with in connection to work, I will figure it out, because we were so used to being put in those situations ki matlab, no, this is my top story of the day, I don't care, go find him. You don't know where this director is, go figure out where the hell he is, which part of the country is he shooting in, because you have reporters ka network everywhere, right? What do you mean this actor is not picking up your call? Who's his team? Call this one, call that one, check. So we would figure it out by the end of the day ki matlab, some one way or another that story has to go on air. So in my head I'm like, one way or another, Janice, you will figure out a solution. I've had actors who, because of personal situations, have had to cancel the night before a really big shoot of social media stuff. And even at 11 o'clock at night, while I'm panicking a little bit, getting a little hyper about it, in my head I know somewhere a voice is saying, you'll figure it out. And I have almost always figured it out.
And it's because of such pressure situations you've been in.
Yeah, it's not great because in therapy, I've talked about it, about what those years made me feel like. It's also sometimes like that humiliation was terrible, because there was a great deal of humiliation, not just for me, but for everyone who was working with him, especially if you were in a senior position. In fact, I feel like if you were junior, it didn't matter that much, because you're not that important in the larger scheme of getting shit done, right? But if you were part of his core team, so you got jacked even more.
I'm sure.
So yeah, but like I said, eventually you learn, and so the flip side is that now, I mean, तुम मुझको जितना भी last minute बोल दो कि Janice, you have to come up with something on the spot, Janice will figure it out. I hate that, because sometimes I feel like that makes me a bit of a donkey. Donkeys are very intelligent animals, can I just say on the record? Yeah, but yeah, I am that donkey.
You're intelligent.
I'm intelligent, misunderstood but intelligent.
One last question before we let you go. ठीक है? How has therapy helped you?
Therapy has helped me in, I don't even know how many ways. Like I still see my therapist at least, I think, 2 to 3 times a month. And I've been in therapy for, intensive therapy at least for like the last 1.5, 2 years. I think it helped me because when I became a creator, so understand this, right? When I was deciding from becoming a journalist to giving up a pretty flourishing journalism career, like becoming an entertainment editor before you're 30 is pretty much the highest rank an entertainment editor can hope to reach.
Got it.
You're heading an entire team of 7 to 8 people. You are the most important person when it comes to cinema, films and celebrity in a particular organization. उससे आगे आप क्या कर सकते हो? Unless as an entertainment channel and if you want to go down that path. But I think after I quit that journalism path and I decided I want to create my own shows, I want to create my own content, and I want to do it on my own terms and work for myself. I didn't even know I was becoming a creator. Right? So suddenly when everything is falling on you, I realized I started having anxiety issues. So that's when I first went to therapy to figure out how to deal with anxiety. And then, of course, as you realize, and everyone realizes in therapy, you've got a lot more other trauma to talk about, losing a parent at a young age, relationships that work and don't work, what it means to be working for yourself, things or bad patterns that you've adopted without even realizing. And in the last 1.5 years, I've gone through a bit of a personal turmoil, so I felt like I really needed therapy. And the ways it has helped me is that I now have coping mechanisms. I mean, everyone has really bad days, right? Everyone has really anxious days or days when they feel like maybe they don't want to get out of bed. But in my head, I know that I have certain solutions to help on those days. Right? Like everyone has different coping mechanisms, and when you do therapy, you'll figure that out for yourself. But for me, I know what mine are now. Like, I know if I am having a terribly anxious day, one of the things I do is my therapist has told me to hold ice in my hand and let it melt, or like put some ice on the nape of my neck, and it works. Or a cold shower instantly works. Go for a run, go for a walk, go for a workout. It works for me. Eat something if you haven't eaten something, because often your bad moods are a result of you not eating properly. Eat something, and eat something especially like kaju helps with anxiety and low moods. Bananas, that sugar hit that you're getting from the glucose. All of these things I've learned through therapy. I don't journal. I can't get myself to write my feelings down, but I've realized my notes are a great source of just like, if there is a negative thoughts that's entering my head, or something that's making me feel a little sad, a little low, or something that's making me feel anxious. Now I just write that thought down and then I close it. So I just feel like it's gone from here and me overthinking it into a note, and it's gone. I'm not saying it's instantly gone, but it's at least out of my system.
But you've at least offloaded it.
I've offloaded it somewhere. I've learned that it's okay to ask for help. Like, I feel like in the last 1 year, my friends have been like, really, they're the family that you choose for a reason. Because अगर आपके लाइफ में 3 से 4 भी अच्छे दोस्त हैं ना, who will answer your call whenever you're feeling shitty, or whenever you're feeling fuck all, you have won in life. Nothing else matters. This is one of my life mantras, that the only thing you can earn in life is people. Yes, of course, you can earn all the material things, but I'm saying the only thing that matters that you can earn in life is people. So if you have those 4-5 people also around, you know, who understand you, who are your safe space, who really get you, and my friends have really shown up, and how, बस यार आप जीत गए लाइफ में.
Yeah, I agree with this. I so agree with this because this creator circuit, people I know, there's a lot going on behind the scenes and lots of, you know, oh ये ऐसा कर रहा है, oh ये वैसा कर रहा है, oh ये ऐसा है, oh ये वैसा है. But a couple of friends that I have and we talk about it and we say that oh कुछ भी कमा ले यार, हम लोगों ने लोग कमाए हैं. We've earned people.
Correct.
Who we have good respect for and good respect from. And it comes both ways, right? Respect, you can't demand respect, respect is earned.
Correct.
And you can't demand respect. I can't tell you, Janice, respect me. No, I can't. If I don't talk to you nicely, if I don't give you good experience for the podcast, you will not respect me. You'll be like, theek hai, blah, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. But
You
if you
can't
have a
earn
good experience,
respect, you can't earn loyalty.
Yeah.
You can't earn someone's you can't earn someone's, like, you know, that feeling of wanting to be so protective about you. You can't वो तुम खरीद नहीं सकते यार कोई मार्केट में जाके.
Correct.
वो इंसान के अंदर से आती है.
right.
And I feel like I try to adopt that even with the people I'm working. Like I'm very happy that my core team is like, they can say what they want to me, I can say what they want to them. People might say that you need to have professional and personal boundaries, and yes, sometimes if I know that someone is going through something personally, I will professionally not try to be like, do this right now, I don't care what is happening in your life. But personally I'll be like, bro, are you okay? We need to talk. You want to call me and vent? I'm here. Just know. You can decide what you want to do. I'm here. And in my personal space or with my friends, I'm just like, girlfriends to are the best gift, but my guy friends also, to be fair, have been amazing. But my girlfriends, normalize putting your girlfriends ahead of any man in your life. I'm sorry, I know some of you have great partners out there, and not judging at all, but for those of you, you know, who are going through this phase of, like, you know, dating multiple boys, or, like, you know, just in a new relationship, you know, put those girlfriends who've been there for you through every high and low, who've cheered you on, who are your champions, who are your unpaid therapists. Normalize putting them ahead of that boy who you don't know how long he's going to stick around or not. Really. Today, if you have to ask me between choosing, like, you know, anything else versus, like, you know, a night out with my girls, or just a movie date with my girlfriend or with my close friends, I'd probably choose that. मेरे को नहीं जाना यार ये रेड कार्पेट पे, मेरे को नहीं जाना वो हेयर मेकअप कपड़े अच्छे पहन के चले जाओ, अनलेस इट्स लाइक एन एक्चुअल वर्क इवेंट. नहीं तो मैं अगर चिली करना है तो मैं अपने जाके दोस्तों के साथ चिल कर लूँगी. वही कमाया मैंने लाइफ में.
How nice. How profound.
Oh, how deep.
How profound. You can ask me one last question as the outro, and then we can wrap it up. Okay. Because I've asked you so many questions throughout.
Yeah, no.
I give you the liberty to ask me one question, and then we can wrap it up.
Okay. So Deepak.
Hanji Sarkar.
Now you've been doing this podcast for how long?
We started shooting last year, February.
Okay. So tell me, over the course of sort of...
Best guest?
No.
Worst guest?
No. You can't try my tricks on me.
Achha, okay.
I mean...
worth the shot.
I was going to say, like, a very popular phrase, don't teach daddy how to...
Oh, how to?
But now that's a sexist term.
How to?
Scratch that. Cancel it.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, but... No,
Back to question.
Yeah. So, you've had, like, this unfiltered conversation with so many people, and I'm hoping they've been unfiltered. But what do you think... How do you think that has changed you? Or what is the biggest lesson you've learned from having these conversations with people?
Thank you so much for asking the question firstly. Nobody has asked me this question yet.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yay!
So the idea behind the podcast is that कि मेरे को ज़्यादा work के बारे में बात नहीं करनी. Of course, we want to talk about the line of work that the guest is in. But I want to know the person. Like in general, in out center, कि यार काजू को तोड़ के उसमें किशमिश डाल के खाते हो क्या? I do that.
मैं फ्रेंच फ्राइज के साथ आइसक्रीम खाती हूँ कभी कभी. अगर
मतलब ये अगर मैं दो काजू को ऐसे हाफ करूँ,
हाँ,
और इसके बीच में अगर किशमिश डालूँ,
हाँ.
I don't know why I'm doing this on camera, but this is the best thing ever.
So let me try.
Yeah, please do.
Let's see if it's a good combo. एक किशमिश और डाल सकते थे,
है ना?
हाँ.
हाँ, it's usually 2 kishmish and 1 kaju.
It's a good combo.
Yeah. So
Because
so basically, I want to know these things, right? So you're wearing a digital watch. I would have asked you, why do you wear this? Why not? So very basic things, but like you're wearing these long,
so-
huge earrings.
I'll answer it also. This because the only thing I need this for is to look at the time and to track my steps. That's all. I do not want one of those phones where I'm like, hello, yeah, can you call me back later? नहीं यार, ये करते वक्त ना, which is working out, steps, running, exercise करते वक्त मुझे फ़ोन वाली आदतें नहीं
हाँ,
चाहिए.
correct.
तो I was like, मेरे को बहुत basic steps जो ट्रैक करेगा ना, पीडोमीटर बोलते हैं उसको,
पता नहीं क्या बोलते.
आई थिंक सो पीडोमीटर ही बोलते हैं ना, वही चाहिए था मुझको. मतलब कि बेसिकली इतना बेसिक हो कि मुझको टाइम बताए और मुझको पता है कि मैंने कितने मिनट वर्कआउट किए और मेरे स्टेप्स ट्रैक करे, बस. और कुछ नहीं चाहिए मुझे अपने डिजिटल फिटनेस स्ट्रैप से.
So that's the idea, right? So when I ask
Why
these
do I wear big
random question, मैं आंसर कर दूं?
हाँ, वाई
नहीं, मैं आंसर कर दूं आपका क्वेश्चन.
अच्छा,
आप
वो.
मेरे से आप क्वेश्चन. See Jan, this is not going to work out this way. Friendship meter is going again towards the red meter.
Okay, review.
हाँ, again in jeopardy.
क्या रे.
So yeah, the idea is just to have like very normal human questions, to not make it sound like very interviewish, so that the person also has like a chill hour apart from work, and this doesn't feel like, oh, I've just given any other interview. And I've learned that people enjoy it more. Like I've learned that when I ask these questions, they're like, I've never thought how मेरे TV कितने इंच का है. I've never really given a thought. और मैं shoes कितने size का पहनता हूँ. Random questions, but I know you're thinking of the answer, so go for it.
No.
No, of course you are.
I was going to ask you, but what have you learned from it? Other than you've learned, okay, the fact that people enjoy that format.
Yeah.
But how has it changed you? Like, what impact
So-
has it had on you?
Yeah, it's very normal. Like we sort of put people on a pedestal, whereas I feel that I've just learned that everybody is just so normal, so human-like. Everybody wants, like I asked Akshay Oberoi because he was born in America, asking him how desi are you, and the next follow-up question I had was, steel की plate में खाते हो कि कांच की plate में खाते हो? And he's like, that's a great identifier.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's the thing I want to know. So it's just,
What was his answer?
he's like, steel की plate में खाता हूँ. So I don't know, I'm just like, I just have fun talking to people in general, and I just feel that sort of, I have a good day when I've had a good podcast episode shot. I have a really peaceful sleep.
It's a good dopamine hit.
Yeah, it's a hit. And a couple of people who came on the show, they're like, and when they tell you good things, and you know, like I can also sense energy, right? So they tell you that, okay, भाई तू अच्छा कर रहा है.
अच्छा ही कर रहा है.
And I feel good because it's good validation. Not that I'm seeking any, but it's good validation when you hear it from people कि हाँ यार दीपक अच्छा कर रहा है तू, करता रहे.
वैसे validation is not a bad word. I don't know, आजकल validation
हाँ,
को
बड़ा
काफी
वो-
मतलब abuse किया जा रहा है कि validation की क्या जरूरत है. यार किसको compliments नहीं पसंद है? मतलब some of us might be really bad at taking it, but everyone likes to hear
Yeah,
good things, यार.
yeah, I don't
और
know.
अपना बंदा कर ही रहा है अच्छा काम, तो why should you not give him validation?
Thank you.
That was my subtle way of.
Well done. Directly भी बोल सकते हो आप.
But no,
वो आप outro में कर
that's
देना.
not my love language. No, that's not my love language is to do it in a slightly like roasty fashion.
ठीक है.
Like-
अब आप बता दो टीवी का साइज कितने इंच का टीवी है घर पे. फटाफट जल्दी.
60 inches, 60 कुछ inches का है.
60 inches
I have
का
a
है.
big TV.
You've given me a
and-
hook. ठीक है.
हाँ,
Okay.
no, but I
now-
also have a TV in my room which I think is 43 inch.
43 inch.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your cats' names?
Audrey, Trishka, and Groot.
Okay. What's your shoe size?
I wear a UK 7 and a Euro 40.
Euro 40.
Yeah. I have
ये
big
hoops. You usually wear hoops or is it
I've been a
for the chill hour?
no. I'm a hoops
बोल
girl.
दो यार चिल्लार के लिए
अच्छा
पहना.
चिल्लार के
क्या
लिए
हो गया?
चिल्लार के लिए
मतलब
नहीं
एक बार बोल
पहना
देते तो
है.
क्या हो गया?
झूठ नहीं बोल सकते, झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. अभी मैं तुमको फॉल्स ये बोल के मेरा क्या होगा, तुम्हारा क्या होगा उसमें कि मैंने हूप्स पहन लिए.
सोचो
No यार, they
कितना
just look
अच्छा
great
लगेगा.
on my face and I'm a hoops girl. I'm a hoops hoe. There's actually a
Hoops
term
hoe.
called hoops hoe. Yeah, it's a real term.
Thank you so much for watching the episode, guys. It's I had a lot of fun. Please आप ही आउटरो कर दो. कैसा लगा आपको शो पे आके? और
Alright, guys.
सच्ची बताना. मेरे को लग रहा है आपको मजा आया.
हाँ.
और अगर आपको लगता है कि आपने मीट नहीं दिया तो आपकी गलती है, मेरी कोई गलती नहीं है. आप कैमरा पे आउटरो कर दो, ठीक है? चलो आ जाओ.
This pressure.
आ जाओ.
This pressure. आपने मीट नहीं दिया तो आपका प्रॉब्लम है, मेरा प्रॉब्लम थोड़ी ना.
आपने हमें बताऊंगा कितने दिन निकलेंगे इसमें.
मैं मुझे बिल्कुल आइडिया. Oh yeah, hi Siri.
Vicky, how to instructions you can trust. अरे भाई, how to instructions on how you can trust. नहीं.
Why is your
I don't know.
what
दब
is
गया
it?
अपने आप. अरे अपने आप दब
Why
गया
is your
था.
smartwatch talking to us?
Hey Siri,
ये
tell me something about Janice Sequeira.
Here's the contact info for Janice Sequeira.
अरे यार, contact card खुल गया. नंबर आ गया. नंबर मत बोल यार.
Sequeira.
Anyway, now we know how Siri says it.
Siri says Sequeira.
Sequeira.
I did not know that. I think I only always said Janice to Siri. I don't even use Siri. And this is exactly the reason why I did not want a smart watch.
I don't. ये सिर्फ मेरे को अच्छा लगता है पहनने में. That's it.
Please यार, खुद से आपसे Siri, can you tell me what is the meaning of this word?
एक बार की है, कब से बोल. हे भगवान, you have
time?
seen the entire episode, right? This is the first time it's happened. It's recorded on camera. You can't lie about this.
Yeah, but it's only been an hour.
तो आर में एक बार वो भी गलती से दब गया.
It's
Really?
Need
I need flag for this?
Yeah, next it'll be like, Siri, can you play my favorite song? Siri, can you play Miley Cyrus's Flowers? नहीं चाहिए ये सब. नहीं चाहिए. Steps count करो.
Continue on your personal device.
Sorry. I was just thinking if she could.
Alright guys,
so
so Deepak and I have reached the end of the chill hour. क्या किया हमने इस एपिसोड के दौरान? हमने चाय पी, मैंने उनकी चाय को रिव्यू किया. He didn't do very well in the chai department. Unfortunately, that was maybe a 4 on 10.
Preference. It's okay.
Yeah. Then I tried out his combination of kishmish and kaju. That, in my opinion, was definitely a 7 on 10. Would try again. And the interview itself, the podcast itself, that I think is a 10 on 10.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Editor, it's a cue for you. Drum rolls, please.
Yeah, you're leaving me hanging.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was preparing the 2 kishmish kaju
This is
sandwich. So sorry, it's
गिर
a bit
गया,
messy.
गिर
But
गया.
please try.
तुम्हारे हमारी उम्मीदों से.
नहीं, don't go there. Too cliche. That's not what we do.
Yeah.
That's not
Next
what we
time,
do.
I'm going to interview Deepak and I'm going to ask him such deeply personal questions na, on the pretext of being like,
When is Deepak Pareek coming on the Social Media Star?
when is Janice shooting a new season of Social Media Star? क्यों दुखती रख पे हाथ रख रहे हो?
Sponsors!
Sponsors!
Please!
Brands! There's not a single day, Deepak, जब ये सवाल मुझसे पूछा नहीं जाता.
I would want you to host the show and I'm the guest. बताओ कब हो रही है? I'm being very
ये
selfish.
पॉडकास्ट हम करते थे क्योंकि सोशल मीडिया स्टार का अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमने ही प्रोडक्शन वैल्यू इतना कुछ ज्यादा बढ़ा दिया कि हम अभी सोच रहे हैं कि क्या करें उसका.
नहीं, मैं बहुत सस्ता आदमी हूँ.
हाँ, डोंट वरी, हम फिगर आउट कर लेंगे. दीपक, वैसे भी आप कुछ तो शूट कर रहे हैं मेरे साथ. इजी पैसा पे मिलेगा इनको.
अच्छा जी. All right. Thank you so much guys for watching the episode. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Comment down your favorite part from the episode. Although we've spoken a lot, we've gone here and there. But please comment down your favorite part in the comment section. And
Girlfriends.
Yeah, that
Men
too.
suck.
No.
Arnab Goswami.
These are meta tags that she's giving me.
Ananya Panday.
And
Dating.
also
ChatGPT. Chai. Curry biscuit. The chill hour.
can you please DM Janice
Deepak
why
Pareek.
she's behaving like this right now? But
Netra Venkat.
thank you so much for watching the episode.
Takes forever to
See you
respond.
around on the next
No
episode
follow-up.
next Friday at 6 p.m. Till
She's
then,
crazy.
it's a wrap. She's crazy too. And thank you so much for bearing with us, for bearing with our nonsense. I hope you've gotten some value out of it. But yeah, see you around next Friday. I will link all her social media channels in the description. Also Tinder and Bumble if that helps for you. But
I'm not on Tinder or
अगर आप
Bumble.
अभी तक देख रहे हो तो I'm assuming आपके पास भी जिंदगी में बहुत टाइम है. Please like, share, subscribe and get back to work. Thank you so much. It's a wrap.
Top comment on this entire podcast. Most annoying guest on the show so far.
She said it, I didn't. It's okay. I don't treat my guests like that. My guest has been wonderful and I've had so much fun shooting with Jan. And Jan is can I call you my friend now?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Jan is a friend. What's your last 5 seconds? You said you'll tell me how this goes. You'll judge the friendship basis how the podcast goes. So
So I think what Deepak needs to do in terms of next steps, that's another way of figuring it out. He needs to figure out a great place to take me to eat. And if you can crack that,
done.
Friendship sealed. We have a
Done.
deal.
Well done. Thank you so much, Jan, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Deepak.
Thank you. Cut.